Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome those of you that are watching online and those of you here present with us today. I'd like to give a very warm welcome to the members of Leadership McAllen that have joined us today. Thank you guys for being here. We hope this meeting is very educative and quick for you guys. So we'll go by as fast as we can. Today is Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. It is 5:30 p.m. And we are here for our regular board meeting of the Board of Trustees of the McAllen Independent School District. There are items on this agenda that may be taken in an order other than as shown on this agenda. Unless removed from the consent agenda, items identified within the consent agenda will be acted on at one time. At this meeting, there may be discussion and action by the board on the items and subjects listed as follows. Item number 1, call the meeting to order. I have done so at 5:30 p.m. And for item number 2, we would like to dedicate this to Miss Robin Ellis, a member of our staff who has passed away recently. She'll join us in a moment of silence, please. Thank you all. Item number 3, Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item number 4, public comments. I believe we have 2 public comments today. We will call you up as soon as we play this short video. Thank you.
Here are the public comment procedures. Number 1, individuals who wish to participate during the portion of the meeting designated for public comment shall sign up at McAllenisd.org at least 1 hour prior to the start of the scheduled meeting. Number 2, an individual's comments to the board shall not exceed 2 minutes per meeting. Number 3, the board shall not tolerate disruption of the meeting by members of the audience. Thank you.
Información a personas para comentarios públicos. Número 1. Las personas que deseen participar durante la parte de la reunión designada por comentarios públicos deberán registrarse en McAllenisd.org al menos 1 hora antes del inicio de la reunión programada. Número 2. Los comentarios de un individuo a la Junta no excederán de 2 minutos por reunión. Y por último, número 3. La Junta no tolerará la perturbación de la reunión por parte de los miembros del público asistente. Gracias.
All right. First, we have Noor Ahmad. Mr. Ahmad, we will give you 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Good afternoon, board members and superintendent. I wanted to share an exciting opportunity that could significantly support student well-being in our district and enhance productivity within our students. Usually 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. when all the doors are closed and children go to sleep and parents go to sleep and counselors are sleeping, sometimes there's a call for help and no one's available. And it's very difficult for parents and for teachers and for counselors and not knowing what's going on. So this is where Student 365 kicks in, a fully subsidized mental health program from Call a Doctor Plus, 100% funded by existing federal resources at no cost to the district. Why is this very important? Because about 40% of students experience persistent sadness. This is the national statistics. 20% seriously consider suicide, and 50% of lifetime mental health issues begin by the age of 14. Student 365 provides 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days across the year, holidays, weekends, access to over 66,000 health professionals and licensed counselors through phone, video, chat, and more, plus up to 20 therapy sessions per incident. This program doesn't replace the current mental health programs at the schools or schools counselors. It actually complements them, especially during evenings, weekends, school breaks, and holidays. It's confidential, stigma-free, and requires no diagnosis to access care. It also includes quarterly reports to the districts to track outcomes at no cost to the district. With national average wait times for mental health service at 3 weeks, students 365 offers access in seconds to talk to a counselor. If the board and superintendent are open to it, our district could become the first in Region 1 to launch this program. Thank you for your time and considering this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Okay, and next we have Alex Stein. Mr. Stein, 2 minutes, uninterrupted. Thank you.
Buenas tardes. I'm Dr. Alex Stein, the father of 2 dual language students at Fossum Middle School. I'm also the president of RGV Puede, Parents United for Excellent Dual Education. There's a report from your bilingual department on tonight's agenda, so I'm here to remind you of your public commitment to increase the percentage of students participating in dual language programs. It's a quote from your strategic plan. According to tonight's report, roughly half of all of students in McAllen are EBs or former EBs who've been reclassified. But fewer than 1 in 5 are participating in dual language. This is not by choice. Most campuses don't offer dual language, so our Spanish-speaking kids are pushed into early exit or ESL programs that are designed to transition them to English only. These inferior programs destroy the Spanish in our community rather than growing it into academic biliteracy. And we know the research showing that dual language outperforms early exit in ESL, but it's not just emergent bilinguals who lose out. The other 9,800 students who are not EBs don't learn much or any Spanish, and they don't become academically biliterate. With planning and leadership, you could offer dual language at all your campuses. PSJA does this. Last year, I salute you for graduating the first cohort of K through 12 dual language students. You graduated 6. PSJA graduated 521. That's how many start in your district. But only 1 to 2% actually finish because instead of having vertical alignment, you've got a pyramid structure for your dual language program. A larger dual language program would also generate more money from the state. Under HB3, McAllen's dual language students already generate something like $564,000 extra a year. That's on top of what they get for being classified as EBs. If you wanted to maximize the number of students participating in dual language, you'd be looking at potentially a revenue source of something like $5 million a year. It would take time to get to that, but that would be possible. More importantly, you'd be providing equitable access to the best program for all students that fosters bilingualism, biculturalism, and biliteracy in our community. Thanks for your ears.
Thank you very much. And we will move to item number 5, Superintendent's Report 5A, Coffee with Superintendent Schlotzky's.
Yes, on September the 19th, we hosted the first Coffee with the Superintendent for the 25-26 school year. This year, we're taking our Coffee with the Superintendent out into the community by partnering with local eateries. This new approach allows us to welcome anyone from the community to join the conversation and learn more about our district initiatives. We have a video to show you, so can you play the video at this time?
The superintendent informed us that for the last 2 years they've been planning strategically, bringing up data so that this time around when the bonds go up for election, that they can have a lot of good evidence onto why our facilities need improvement, which I found very, very good to show that history that, we've been doing our work for the last 2 years, our homework. It's not something we just woke up with and said, hey, you know what, all of a sudden our facilities need to be changed. No, they've been doing their homework for the last 2 years so that when they come to the people, when we go to vote, they can present a good case as to why it's good for us to do improvement to our buildings.
Me gustó mucho que estén haciendo este tipo de actividades para que la comunidad se pueda involucrar en lo que está pasando en las escuelas. Y también me gusta que estén pensando en renovar y mejorar todas las facilidades de las escuelas. Felicito también al superintendente por esta iniciativa que ha hecho de estas tomar café con el superintendente, que está muy interesante y va a hacer de que sea más llamativo para los padres de poder involucrarse.
This is like my first time really getting involved. I'm coming from a different school district. This is my second year with McAllen ISD, and I have had a lot of opportunity to be involved. There is PTO, there is parental involvement, and so I am now this year being a part of that, getting a chance to be a part of that. I'm just really excited for the rest of the school year, and I think that it's going to be a great year, and just to be a part of my children's education and seeing them succeed. That is my goal.
That was great. We look forward to the next one.
Yes, we will continue to do it throughout the year. We got about 5 more to go, so.
All right, we will move to item 5B, Child Nutrition Food Show.
On Thursday, October the 9th, we hosted our annual Child Nutrition Food Show at the Child Nutrition Center at our central kitchen. Students from elementary, middle, and high school participated in the event, sharing their feedback on new menu items through a fun passport booklet activity. The event also drew attention from several media outlets and welcomed community members and restaurant partners who joined in to support our commitment to nutritious student approval meals. And we also have a video to show you. Go ahead.
Today we're having our McAllen ISD food show. So we have students from all over our 31 campuses, and they're coming in and they're sampling food with our vendors, and they are just telling us what they like and don't like on our menu. We try to always provide 2 entree options for our students so that if they don't like one, they're going to have an option to get another. So our goal is always that 100% of our kids eat at school.
I really like the foods that are like the Italian ones and the garlic pizza, and all the other ones are so good. The foods that I really did like is was the Italian noodles. I like the pepperoni pizza, but it wasn't the best. I think I like the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's just the original right of it.
So today we have about 10 vendors that came out to showcase their food, and so we work really closely with them and trying to find products that our students are really going to enjoy. We've gotten pretty positive responses from students. They're liking what they're tasting, and what they don't like, they're very good about telling us as well. So we take all that feedback and we're going to get to work on a good menu.
Looked like a lot of fun. I saw Lizzie was there. How was the food, Lizzie? And Trustee Haddad.
Superintendent, thank you so much for, and Sonia Esquivel for hosting that. And Superintendent, thank you for working with the board to look at healthier, better nutritious options.
We'll try our best to continue.
Item number 6, we do have a public hearing for the School Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas. School first, Dr. Gutierrez.
Yes, this is our financial academic report card. And for the 22nd time out of 23 years, McAllen ISD has received the state's highest mark by the Texas Education Agency School First, which stands for Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas. Ms. Lorena Garcia, our Deputy Superintendent for Business and Operation, will tell us more about this and also our A rating, perfect score that we got. So go ahead, Ms.
Thank
Garcia.
you. Good evening, everyone. We're going to discuss this at this public hearing, the state's Texas Financial Accountability Rating System. At the conclusion, there will be an opportunity for the public to ask questions if they have any. Of course, as Dr. Gutierrez mentioned, McAllen ISD earned an A, a superior achievement rating with a perfect score in financial accountability. We are going to talk about the objectives as well as the goals, and then how this rating was determined. There are some ceiling indicators, and then the school first indicators, and of course our public comments. So the objective is for the rating system that fairly and equitably evaluate the quality of management decisions, provide an analysis tool for assessment, and then to be able to publicly report this. Excuse me. Okay, the financial data that is utilized to create this report and assessment is our district annual financial report and our PEIM system, which is the Public Education Information Management System. What the first attains to do is to, first of all, strengthen the fiscal accountability, improve performance in the management of the finances, and facilitate effective and efficient use of resources. First of all, there are some critical indicators. In these critical indicators, if the district fails in any one of these four, then it's on automatic F. So we have to be very careful and make sure that our annual financial report is filed by the deadline, November 27th. And of course, this year they are extending it to February, but for the most part, most years it'll be towards the end of November. We also have to have, other than an unmodified opinion and no material weaknesses identified in the audit, meaning that nothing was wrong in the audit. We cannot default on our debt payments, and we cannot default on any payroll-related payments. So the district was successful in all four. These are the ceiling indicators. What that means is that any score on that, it gives you a maximum score that you can receive if you fail one of these indicators. So it brings you down to the maximum points on those. But we're going to cover the first indicators. The first one was, of course, the annual audit, the financial report. Was it submitted on time? And yes, of course it was. Was there an unmodified opinion in the AFR, which is what you want? And yes, the opinion was unmodified, representing the highest level of assurance and meeting the critical indicator. Was the district in compliance with payment terms? And the answer is yes. Did the school district make timely payments and to TRS, Texas Workforce Commission, Internal Revenue Services, and other government agency? And the answer is yes. Was the total net position in the governmental activities column in the statement of net positions greater than zero? McAllen ISD's net position was $319,348,543, which is greater than zero, meaning we did meet that indicator. Was the average change in the assigned and unassigned fund balances over 3 years less than 25% decrease? Or did the current year's assigned and unassigned fund balance exceed 75 days of operational expenditures? And in both cases, we met both indicators. The 3-year fund balance increased actually by 13%, well above the negative 25 that is allowed. And we had current fund balance of 105.6 million, which exceeds the 75 days. Was the number of days cash on hand and current investments in the general fund for the school district sufficient to cover operating expenditures? We did receive the 10 points in this category. The days of cash on hand were 132.8587. Was the measure of the current assets to current liability ratio for the school district sufficient to cover short-term debt? The answer to that is yes. Did the school district's general fund revenues equal or exceed the expenditures? And the expenditures did not exceed the general fund revenues, and the number of days of cash on hand was 132, which is greater than the 60 days that is allowed. They skipped indicator number 10, and everybody received the maximum points. And number 11 was the ratio of long-term liabilities to total assets for the school district sufficient to support long-term solvency. And the district received the full 10 points. The long-term liabilities to total asset ratio was 15.3%, sufficient to support long-term solvency. Indicator number 12, what is the correlation between future debt requirements and the district's assessed property value? The correlation between future debt requirements and the district's assessed property value is that McAllen ISD's debt per $100 of assessed property value was adequate to support our debt repayments. Was the school district's administrative cost ratio equal to or less than the threshold? And we received the full points because the cost ratio was 6.9%, which is below the allowed 8.55%. Did the district not have a 15% decline in student to staff ratio over 3 years? And McAllen ISD's student to staff ratio declined only by 3.49 over 3 years, which is less than the 15% that is allowed. Was the school district's average daily attendance within the allotted range of the district's biennial pupil projections submitted to TEA? And in this case, the actual projection was 1.62, which is less than the allotted range of 7%. Did the comparison of the PEIMS data to like information to the school district's annual financial report result in a total variance of less than 3%? We had a 0% variance, so we received the maximum points. Did the external independent audit report that the annual financial report was free of any material weaknesses in internal controls? And of course, our annual financial report was free of any material weaknesses. Did the external independent auditor indicate that the annual financial report was free of any material noncompliance when it comes to grants? And that is correct. It was free of any material noncompliance. Number 19, did the school district post the required financial information on the website as required by state law? And we did comply with that. Did the school district's administration and school board members discuss any changes or impacts to local, state, and federal funding at a board meeting within 120 days before the adopted budget? And yes, we did have that discussion. Did the school district receive an adjusted repayment schedule for more than one fiscal year? And no, the district did not receive an adjustment repayment schedule from TEA on the foundation school program funds. And those were the indicators. So at this time, I would like to open it up for any questions. We do have a copy of the report if anybody in the audience would like a copy. Those are with Natalie.
Okay.
And that's all I have today for you on the public hearing.
Any questions from the board? No? Okay. We will give those of you in the audience a chance to comment if you'd like at this time before we move forward. All right. Well, thank you so much.
If not, I just want to thank the business office and all the departments and the campuses for having this perfect score and in our financial integrity rating system of Texas. And thank you all for all the work and for taking good care of our taxpayers' dollars. So thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Well done.
Absolutely.
We are on item number 7, consent agenda items, and unless trustee would like to pull one, I will ask for a motion to approve.
I move to approve consent agenda items 7A through 7H.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by trustee Peña and a second by trustee De La Garza Lopez. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. And that is item 7A to 7H. Item number 8, instructional services, instructional leadership items. 8A1, report regarding bilingual ESL and foreign languages department. Dr. Gutierrez.
Yes, administration will provide a report on the bilingual ESL and foreign languages department. Mrs. Rocio Nava, our director for bilingual ESL and foreign languages department, will have more information. And this is an information purposes only item. So go ahead, Ms. Nava.
Good evening, Board President, trustees, and Dr. Gutierrez. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present to you today on our department, bilingual ESL and foreign languages. Our mission in the department is there a clicker? So our mission in the department is to support our district in supporting all of our emerging bilingual students to make sure that their linguistic, academic, and cognitive needs are met so that they are successful. And in our district, currently we have 5,724 emerging bilingual students. This constitutes 29% of our student population. We also have 1,592 monitor students. These are students who have been reclassified already. They've demonstrated English proficiency, and we still monitor their progress to make sure that they're still being successful. Out of those 5,724 emerging bilingual students, 52% of them are at the elementary level, 20% of them at the middle school level, and 28% at the high school level. Our students come from different language backgrounds. The majority of them come from the Spanish-speaking background. The second most common language is English for our students, and Vietnamese is the third one. There are 6 different state-approved programs to serve our emerging bilingual students and meet their needs, and our district currently offers 5 of them. Under the bilingual umbrella, we offer the dual language one-way and two-way at designated campuses and Fossum and Achieve Early College High School, and our bilingual early exit program at the elementary level as well. Under the English as a second language program models, we have the ESL content-based programs in elementary and the ESL pull-up programs in our secondary campuses. We currently have 1,586 students participating in the dual language program, and there is also the participation in the previous 2 years. There's a slight decrease, but there's also a slight decrease in our population in the district. We have different services in our department. Under our department, we serve our foreign languages. And under this umbrella, we serve our students by providing exams for acceleration in the middle school level. And this is for students who want to challenge the test and receive a high school credit for foreign languages if they're proficient in the language. And that's open to all the middle school students. We also offer professional learning and other supports for our foreign language teachers. We have courses in Spanish, French, and American Sign Language at the high school level, Spanish at the IB program at the Leon, and Spanish at the Fossum Dual Language program as well. Under the umbrella of emerging bilingual and newcomer students, we have different services. We provide services for our students, such as supplemental instructional materials and resources. We also provide different services for our staff, such as the support for our language proficiency assessment committees on making sure that they're following the guidelines and the requirements set by the state in serving our students, among other areas on how to serve our emerging bilingual students and how to help our teachers become bilingual and ESL certified as well. We also have different activities for parents and families of our emerging bilingual students and our newcomer students in our district. And next, we have a graph that compares the performance of our students in McAllen ISD, emerging bilingual students and monitor students, against the region and against the state. In yellow, you see the performance of our students in McAllen ISD. And we can see the performance in the reading and the math START assessments and their academic growth. As you can see, they perform above the region and above the state. And also in reading and math academic achievement, this is performance at the meets or higher level in the START assessments, and they outperform the region and the state as well. In the English language proficiency measure, which is our TELPAS assessment that focuses on the growth in the English language acquisition of our students, they also outperform the region and the state. And then this is after a reduction in our EB population from 7,200 students that we had in 2023 to 6,500 that we had last year. So there's been a decline in our EB population, but even regardless of that, we're still outperforming the region and the states with our efforts. Here you see the trend on the last 3 years on the same indicators for our emerging bilingual students and our monitor students and performance in their state assessments and their TELPAS assessments as well. Here we have the performance of our emerging bilingual students and our monitor students in the different subject areas at the approaches, meets, and master's level. In green, you see the performance of our students at the approaches level in the different subject areas. In pink, you see the performance at the meets level, and in blue, you see the performance at the master's level for our students in the different subject areas that they're assessed. There are different celebrations that we want to share with you tonight. One of them is that we have 21 dual language students who receive their Spanish 1 high school credit at the end of their 5th grade dual language participation. And this is by demonstrating proficiency in both English and Spanish and performing on meets or higher in their state assessment. And this is a state criteria. We also very happy to continue collaborating with Rice University. We took a group of dual language students from Fossum Middle School, transitioning into the high school to the Rice Tapia camp. These are STEM-based camps, and it provides an opportunity for our students to collaborate and network with other students across the state of Texas and learn about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics and how it applies to their future education. We also had our first cohort of dual language graduates from Achieve Early College High School last year. We had 6 students graduating from Achieve Early College High School. This year we have 20 seniors in the dual language program at Achieve. Also, we participated in a UTRGV Regional Torneo de Ortografía. This is our regional Spanish spelling bee competition. We had 6 of our students performing at the top level in this competition. 2 of them advanced to the state level. 1 of them placed second place at the state Spanish spelling bee and represented us at the national Spanish spelling bee competition as well. We had Ms. Brittany Carpenter, secondary teacher, be recognized as the RGB Tabe Secondary Teacher of the Year for their services to our emerging bilingual students. And we had 2 Summit K-12 State Educator of the Year finalists. Ms. Daisy Trevino got 4th place. She works at Seguin Elementary and McAuliffe Elementary. And right now, this year, we have Ms. Diana Ballesteros. She is a teacher at Milam Elementary. And we'll find out at the end of this week if she gets a recognition in the top 3 places as well at the TABIC conference. We also had our first science extravaganza, and this one is an activity that we work in collaboration with the IMAS Museum to provide different exploration activities and experiments for our parents and families of emergent bilingual students and emergent bilingual students in grades 5th and 8th, with an effort to provide them the opportunity to learn about science concepts and the vocabulary. We also had an engineer from McAllen Public Utility present to them on how science is important and how it impacts our water system in the city. So all of this in an effort to help our students perform, increase their performance in their science state assessments, and increase the collaboration with their parents and our families. We also want to celebrate the performance of our students in their state assessments because they outperform the region and the state in different areas. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all the teachers, the staff, and the administrators at the campuses, at central office for all their support for serving our emerging bilingual students, because all of them play a key role in the success of our students, and none of this will be possible without their support. And lastly, I want to thank my team, my bilingual department, for their commitment to their services to our district and our students. So that concludes my presentation, and I thank you for your time and your leadership and support as well, and I can answer any questions at this time.
Thank you very much. Board?
Thank you, Ms. Nava. What would it take to radically grow the number of students participating in the dual language two-way program?
We would need parent support, approval. We are a district of choice, so our parents have the option to opt into dual language program or early exit or another program for their students, right? So we need the parent buy-in, we need the support, we can expand to other grade levels. We have the resources, we have the plan, we have the program. Teacher certification is present in most of the campuses, so it will be a matter of getting the parents to buy in into the dual language program and be able to open it with a good pipeline in different elementary campuses in other areas.
Thank you. And just one quick follow-up. Is that parent opt-in mostly from native English speakers or mostly from native Spanish speakers?
No, the dual language program is a program designed to support emerging bilingual students with the effort in mind and the focus in mind that we want them to be successful and maintain both of their languages. Non-English, non-emerging bilingual students can also participate. But there is a limit in the state regulations. We need to make sure that in our district we do not exceed 40% of our participation in our programs from the non-EB population, which we're in compliance right now. We're fine. So we're able to expand the program to our non-EB students, and it is designed to help them in their case to become proficient in Spanish because they already come with the English language. So the ideal model is to have a 50-50 balance in the classroom, and we're doing a two-way, which is in which we have our EBs and our non-EBs in the dual language program participation. But it is possible, and it is with the focus but in mind, of course, first our emerging bilingual students. They are the priority for our services.
Thank you.
We actually, didn't we used to be 100% offer dual language in every school?
I believe so. I
know
was
you
not
weren't-
in my
right,
position
right,
at that time.
right.
But yes, it was in all the elementary campuses. And then after that, I believe the board and the district leadership decided to have it at only designated campuses. So we have it at the designated elementaries. We expanded to Fossum and to Achieve Early College High School as well.
So that's just some background from the board that
Yes.
it was years ago, and we can look into kind of the history of the program. Do you want to, I have some questions, but you go first.
Yeah, I was following with Trustee Carrion said, and thank you to Mr. Stein for being here today.
Yes.
He educated me about this program. And, you see higher, students that do dual language do better academically, graduate higher rates, matriculate to college in higher numbers. So thank you for everything you're doing. I just wanted to, I think Mr. Stein brought up some numbers that PSJ graduates 521 last year. What is PSJ doing, and how do we copy them? Because I think this is such a incredible program. I'm doing a horrible job, and I mean horrible job of teaching my son Spanish, but I'm gonna rely on MISD to do it when he's 4 years old and can enroll. Okay, so I want this program to be,
And we want him
widespread.
in McAllen ISD. It is, from my understanding, FAR San Juan Alamo only offers dual language as their bilingual program. So there is no choice of early exit or dual language. So everybody offers a dual language program, and they do offer it at all the way to the secondary level as well. So that is one of the reasons why the students, you see a larger number of students in addition to the larger district that they have. But it is a great program. I'm blessed to be part of McAllen ISD as an employee, but also as a parent. And my younger son, sitting in the back, is a dual language student at Sanchez Elementary. My previous two sons were early exit students, so it is a great district to be in. It is a possibility, but that is one of the reasons why PSJA has more dual language graduates.
And when Mr. Trustee Carrion asked you, you said we're a district of choice, so parent buy-in is the number one, but we do have the resources. So you're saying if we wanted to expand this to other junior highs, high schools, we would have the ability?
Secondary is more challenging. And the reason being is in elementary, most of our teachers, we do have the staff to provide the bilingual education, which means that they're bilingual certified. They're proficient in both in English and Spanish. When you get to the secondary, bilingual certification is not a requirement anymore. So it is a challenge to get teachers to be able to teach the core content areas in both in Spanish, in the case of our secondary campuses. For example, FASAN, they teach science in Spanish, in addition to the Spanish language arts teachers. So those two teachers need to have the bilingual certification. They have to be proficient in the language so they can provide the correct instruction to the students. At the secondary level, it is more challenging because it's not a common practice. It's not impossible, but it is more challenging to find the staff that is proficient in the language to be able to support them and get bilingual certified. Plus, the ones teaching in English need another certification as well. So elementary, yes, it is. We have the staff, we have the resources. Secondary, yes, but it has to be a gradual approach to make sure that we have the staff in place to be able to provide the program for our students.
Thank you, Ms. Nava. And then Superintendent, I know we're going to have a conversation in the future strategic plan and priorities. This would be a great one to add to that.
Sure.
Ms. Nava, thank you for presenting today. And thank you for all the work that you do. So are dual language students outperforming our early exit?
Based on the analysis that I've done in McAllen ISD, we are blessed, like I said, to work with excellent teachers, excellent administrators committed to the success of our students, regardless of the program they participate in. So when you look at the performance of our elementary students in dual language, early exit, ESL programs, you can see a very similar performance comparison. like I said, we outperform the region and the state in most of those indicators. When you see the spike of the performance of our dual language students, it's in secondary, which is the design of the program. After the longer you participate in the program, then you get to see that outperforming, that performance above the rest of the students. So when you look at the performance of our students at the middle school level and at the high school level, we do see a great difference on their success on the state assessment in comparison to other students participating in ESL programs or our non-ED students.
Okay, and I'm wondering if you can send that information to the board, like, so we can see dual language separate from the other programs that students are.
Yes, I can certainly provide that for the previous years. This year, final report hasn't come out with a breakdown of the performance of our students by program participation. I have preliminary data for 2025, but for the previous years, I do have that data, and I can certainly provide that for you all.
Thank you. And I, too, just want to echo other board members and vouch for my support for dual language. I'm monolingual, and I've been here my whole life. It's embarrassing, but I would love if our district, I mean, you've got to be bilingual in today's world. You've got to be biliterate, and that's what differentiates, you know, bilingualism, ESL, early exit programs from dual language, is that students actually learn how to become biliterate, how to read and write in Spanish. It's very challenging. But again, I know we can get there with support from the board, administration. So I really would like to revisit kind of our goals and what's going on at our campuses for our strategic workshop coming up. Thanks.
Yes, no, thank you so much for your support, and I also want to take the opportunity to thank our parents because they've always been very supportive to our programs. So thank you, and I'll send that data your way.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Lara.
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, it is with great excitement that I ask that we rearrange the agenda to bring up item 8C1.
Okay, I have a motion to bring up 8C1, and I have a second by Trustee De La Garza. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. 8C1 is next, and that is Chewy.
Chewy. Bring it.
8C1, discussion and possible action on donation and transfer agreement number 2026-156, McAllen ISD Police Department K-9, Dr. Gutierrez.
Yes, in accordance with Board Policy CDC Local, the board delegates to the superintendent the authority to accept unsolicited gifts on behalf of the district, and in addition, this agreement will allow for the transfer of ownership from transferor to McAllen ISD Police Department. Our police force has grown by 4 paws. We're excited to welcome Officer Chewy, who was recently rehomed at our school district by McAllen High School students, Addison and Amelia Humphreys. Are they here?
They're here.
Come here, girls.
Their generous contribution helps strengthen our commitment to safety, connection, and community spirit across McAllen ISD. We ask for them to come to the front for a photo, and administration is recommending action on this item. And let's bring in our new member to our police department.
Move to approve.
Second.
A unanimous second. So I have a
Resounding
motion
second.
by Trustee De La Garza Lopez, a second by
the rest of the board.
the rest of the board. All in favor? Everyone in favor? Motion passes 7-0.
I'm honored
Thank you.
to present to you Officer Chewy.
Can we have Addison and Amelia maybe say a few words? Not to put you all on the spot, but we are very grateful.
Hi, I'm Addison Humphreys. We heard about Chewy from a friend of a friend, and my mom had made the connection that there's always kids in need, and we do some stuff with mental health as well, and we just thought, what better purpose for this very, very intelligent dog than to come and help kids and potentially save a life. And he's just the sweetest, and we think that he's going to do an amazing job with his new profession here with McAllen ISD.
So in addition to Officer Chewy, we also wanted to present Officer Sylvia Trevino. She is our new handler for Officer Chewy. She was getting jealous.
We put him as a new hire on the website.
He filled the position.
You did? Albert.
He filled the position. We're good with filling that.
We put him as a hire.
You got a badge? We could.
Oh, how.
He's ready to go. He's ready to go. We're filling this position. So just real quick, I just wanted to mention, thank you all so much. Again, it's just another great example of the district's leadership that proves anything is possible. And I want to thank all of you for your continued support. Special thanks to Trustee Sofia Peña. We appreciate your help. And to the Humphreys, we just want to assure you that Chewy will most certainly get the attention that you're hoping he'll receive with the McAllen ISD community. And Chewy's all in.
I really want to say thank you to Dr. Gutierrez and the team for accepting him and giving him a second chance. And so I'm really proud and kind of emotional because this is exciting for me. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Humphreys.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
It's exciting. Penny's got a friend. We are going to circle back now to 8A2, report regarding scholarships for class of 2025 and promote college night for class of 2026. Dr.
Administration will provide a report on the college readiness efforts provided to the class of 2025 and efforts in place for the class of 2026. Ms. Norma Cabrera, our Director for College Career and Counseling Department, will share more information, and this is for information purposes only. Go ahead, Ms. Cabrera.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, Mr. Board President, School Board Trustees, Dr. Gutierrez. Thank you for having me here. I'm here to share with you information for the class of 2025, and so you can also get an idea of what the efforts are right now for the class of 2026. So here we have information on financial aid applications submitted. We have the class of 2024, the total number of students on the second column, and the class of 2025 on the fourth column. So our goal is to have 100% of our students apply for financial aid, and as part of a graduation requirement, we are required to ensure that all students apply for financial aid, but some students opt out of applying for financial aid for different reasons, and you have the percentages there. At McAllen, 87% applied, 13% opt-out. Memorial, 80% applied, 20% opt-out. Rose, 64% applied and 36 opted out. Lamar IB, 96% and 2 opted out. And Lamar Options, 85 and 15, and Achieve Early College High School, 98% and 2% opt out. So this is work that everyone is involved in, but primarily our college admissions scholarship specialists. They work with every single student one-on-one to make sure that they all apply for financial aid, which is the FAFSA form or the TASFA form or opt-out. So here we have the college applications that were submitted last year by campus. So the total number of seniors for class of 2025 and the number of college applications. So here you have at McAllen High School, 88% of our students submitted a college application, and our requirement is for them to at least submit one application, but more is better. But we make sure that every single one of them at least submits one application. But we try to shoot for 3, but 1 is mandatory. And then, of course, our students that join the military, they submit other forms for military. So you have the 88% at McAllen, 94% at Memorial, 96 at Rowe, 55 Lamar, 100% Lamar IB, 98% at Options, and Achieve Early College High School, 100% of our students. And here we have scholarship information, and we're so very happy to see that our numbers grew at an increase of 35%. So how do we collect this data? Our college counselors work with our senior class very closely, and they need to submit evidence. So once they start receiving their award letters, their scholarship information, they submit that evidence to our college counselors who collect that evidence and then give them credit for the different awards that they're receiving. So at McAllen High School, we saw an increase of 54% for a total of $19,822,000. At Memorial High School, we saw an increase of 9% for a total of $13,284,000. At Rowe High School, we saw an increase of 52%. We're at $12,087,858. Lamar IB, an increase of 8%. $14,099,917. At Lamar Options, we're working with that group. We saw a little decrease of 17%. At Achieve Early College High School, an increase of 137%. We went from 3.1 million to 7.4 million for a total of 66,766,618. So we're so happy to report this because we went from 49.2 million to 66.7 million, and that is something to be very proud for our students, our class of 2025, and the same efforts are in place right now for class of 2026. And here we have the number of associate's degrees by different groups. At Achieve, of course, we have more of the associate's degrees because that's the degree that most students are or all students are working towards. So we had 91 associate's degrees completed at Achieve out of 114 students. Lamar IB, they participate in a different program, so they don't receive associate's degree, but they do get their IB certification. And then McAllen High School, 5 students that participate in the academies, which secure associate's degrees. Memorial High School, 4, and Rowe, 14. So those are the associate's degrees. That means that they've completed 60 college hours in a particular area, and the students receive like 2 years of college completion before they graduate from high school. And then we have a list of industry-based certifications for the class of 2025. So at Achieve, 189, Lamar IB, 110, McAllen High School, 985, Memorial, 811, and Rowe, 1166. And some of our students, we know that the classes are smaller, but they get multiple industry-based certifications. That's why our numbers are higher. And then, of course, the last column is the scholarship information by campus. And then we have here a year-to-year comparison report for the last few years, and we're very happy to report that we continue to increase the amounts. But anytime we increase, we have to sustain or continue to increase. So that's the goal for this year, is to continue to increase the amounts and make sure that our students are continuing to apply for scholarships, that they're following through with all the requirements to submit those scholarship applications, and also for them to submit their proof that they've received these scholarships. So we're at 66.7 million last year. And then this slide just gives you an overview of the dual enrollment hours. For the class of, this is all hours earned in last school year, 24-25. So we have at STC 12,079 credit hours. So each course is about 3 to 4 credit hours, and we're using a very small number of $350 per credit hour. But we know that that may be $450, $550, $600, depending on the Institute of Higher Ed. But we're being very conservative with our number. We're using $350 per credit hour. So the parent savings for the credit hours earned at South Texas College last year was $4,227,650. UTRGV students completed 1,853 credit hours for savings of $648,550, and the UT On-Ramps group completed 1,259 credit hours for a total savings of $440,650. So a total savings to our parents of $5,316,850. And that right there is speaks volumes on our efforts for dual credit. Because if y'all know if you're parents with kids in college, you know how expensive it is to get them through those programs. And here we're giving them those opportunities at McAllen ISD in high school. And then here are additional efforts that are in place for college readiness. So 9th and 10th grade students receive college awareness, financial aid information, college exploration, post-secondary prep, college readiness exams, GPA, rank information. So we present and we meet with kids at every grade level. College readiness is something we start talking to kids about in pre-K through 12th grade. We're always discussing college with students. But here we get more of course, intentional with making sure that they have their resumes, their essays in place, financial aid awareness, college research and matching, internship opportunities, campus visits, standardized testing, and guidance. And then, of course, for our 12th graders, so these are our college readiness, our college specialists that work with these different groups. But the focus, most of their time is spent with seniors because that's our last year, and we need to make sure that they all apply for financial aid, that they all apply for college, and that they're all securing scholarships. Because that's the piece that's very critical. Like, we can send them links and we can have the most beautiful websites, but we have to sit with them and help them and walk them through a lot of these processes because they are tedious. So we do that. We work with them on college applications, financial aid submissions, also support for every student, even those with mixed statuses. What does that mean? Students that may have may be residents or citizens, but maybe one parent is undocumented. So we have to meet with those students. We provide everyone general information, and then we sit with those different groups one-on-one to make sure that we meet the individual needs of those families. So support is provided for all students, and making sure that that their final transcripts are in place and that we assist them for enrollment, because we don't just prepare them to graduate from our high schools, but we prepare them to enroll in post-secondary ed and make sure that they're successful in post-secondary ed. And this is just for information. Also, Financial Aid Night. We're hosting Financial Aid Night tomorrow at STC for all of our class of 2026 seniors. We have our college counselors at STC, and I'll be joining them tomorrow. And that's where we have STC staff also helping us with the FAFSA applications. The FAFSA applications can get pretty convoluted based on the needs of the families and the information that the families have. So we have financial aid experts at STC that can help us help the students with those applications. And we're also having a college night College Night is scheduled for November 3rd. This is something through TACRO. It's an organization that puts together the college fairs in our area, and they assign the date. I wanted to have it earlier, but they give us the date and the time, and we just have to go with that date and time. And in this case, it's November 3rd. But we're working with those students on a daily basis, working with our counselors to make sure that every student is taken care of and that we meet the individual needs of each child. Any questions?
May I ask something really quick?
Yes.
That over $5 million savings is huge. And I'm just looking at our marketing director to see if we have plans to really, is this unique to us compared to charter schools? And I know sure other public districts are probably comparable, but what about how we've lost some students to charters? Do you know, are they offering the same?
So there's different programs in each institution, right? But I'm glad you brought that up because we met today. We're creating a district marketing plan to market all our different programs. We have too much to offer, and sometimes it's a little confusing because we want to make sure that everyone's sharing the same information. So we're creating a marketing plan for every single program for our comprehensive schools and all that they offer, for IB, for Achieve, for UTRGV Collegiate, for the new P-TECH. So in trying to explain all those details to parents, we're creating like a catalog that says a student's path to completion. So what do I need to do early on to make sure that I complete and that I understand these different programs? And we're also marketing dual enrollment. We have amazing dual enrollment programs, but we have so much in McAllen. We are also planning our McAllen Has It All event for December 5th, where we're inviting all 8th grade families to join us and receive first-hand information from our representatives from each of the programs, because that's when parents are trying to decide on which programs to pursue or whether to stay at a comprehensive school, which also offers dual enrollment, which also offers AP, which offers on-ramps, or go into one of our special programs. We have a lot, but we are working with the marketing team to make sure that the message is clear and we even want to take it as early as elementary, because that's when parents are talking about maybe leaving our district for other opportunities. We want to show kids in 5th grade and 4th grade and 3rd grade everything that's available throughout
and
their
even
education.
hey, you can graduate with an associate's degree.
Definitely.
That's a huge deal. So anyway, thank you for all that.
Any other questions?
I just wanted to make a statement. I have 2 in college, well, 1 in grad and 1 in college, and I just want to say thank you, because those college counselors, I mean, not only do they sit with the student, but they sit with the parents when we have questions. I know with the first one, we sat down early on for the FAFSA, and that was 2020, so then COVID hit, and he would still call, and we would do FaceTimes because I was confused about how to fill out, and you have to fill out, I mean, they want to know what you're having for dinner Friday night. And so it is so much work, and all of our counselors have such great expertise as far as how to include all the information. And then you still have to do it every year that they're in college, and so I would still call back the same counselor, even though my child had graduated. I would say, I need help with this question. And so I just want to say thank you, because it is, I can see where so many parents just say, don't worry about it, forget it, we're not going to, but it is so valuable for families in our community if they just have that guidance to help our students and our families to be able to complete all of these forms. And of course, to stay on top of our kids for scholarships, because their senior year, I get it, they are checked out, and the last thing they want to do is write another essay for a scholarship, but it is so beneficial to the families, and it's just, $5 million, it's huge for our community. So thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you for sharing that.
2 questions, Ms. Corberata. First of all, thank you so much for this. Second, seems like the college specialists are the real linchpin of the strategy. What's the ratio of college specialists to seniors at our high schools?
So we have 1 college specialist at each of our schools. In our comprehensive schools, we have 1 to the senior class, which is about 400 or 500 students. But aside from college specialists, we also have programs with UTRGV like AmeriCorps, where they send students that are also well-versed in college applications and financial aid that help us help our seniors. So there's about 5 of those at each of our comprehensive schools. And then, so we have a lot of support. And they are in that lane of helping students with college readiness needs. What we have seen in other districts is that college specialist is also the crisis counselor and the special ed counselor. And here in McAllen, we're very blessed to say that our college specialists have this scope and sequence, and they have to follow that and make sure that we meet with every student and we meet their needs.
Wonderful. Thank you. Second question, I know financial aid changes every year, and there's an evolving landscape when it comes to eligibility for in-state tuition here in the state of Texas. How are you seeing the college specialists responding to those needs for all of our students?
Well, we're having to have smaller meetings. We just met with one of the institutes of higher ed about our TASFA. Our TASFA is for students that are undocumented, and there's been some changes statewide for TASFA. So we're trying to figure out how to help these students, because now they're going to be charged out-of-state tuition. So, and they may not qualify. So we have some resistance from students in submitting a TASFA application, because that may affect their status or if staying in this country. So we're having to really look outside of the box and meet with certain groups to get better informed on how to help our students.
Yeah, thank you so much. One idea, as I've been talking to colleagues that I work with in other parts of the state trying to address this issue, is exploring maybe more non-traditional options for students that are affected, maybe not the residential college option anymore, even as heartbreaking as that might be. But I know there are high-quality, online, low-cost, self-paced institutions of higher education that might be able to meet that need. Just an idea. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I just have one comment. You know, from the day that I got on this board, I've been clamoring for more and more and more, because it is a saving, and it's my background. And so it is a cost savings for families. They get ahead, they get out and into the workforce faster and support themselves. And so it is really a game changer when it comes to breaking that cycle of poverty. And education is the equalizer. Nobody can take that away. So thank you to your team and Dr. Gutierrez and everybody that's involved with making sure that our kids have access to higher ed. And again, thank you so much. It's really, really good. Thanks.
I want to take this time to thank our counselors, our campus administration, and district administration, Dr. Gutierrez and the board, because without you, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
Thank you all so much.
Just want to add that those $5.3 million is at no cost to the parents. It was our cost.
Yes.
So it's a scholarship to the parents from us.
Yes. So the way SDC works is they don't charge us per student, but there's fees for like the textbooks and other things, but they don't charge us per student. Okay, thank you. Oh, another question?
This is a marketing comment maybe. If we could just divide the 5.3 by however many families we have and just plaster it on their front door, like, we are saving you. By the time you walk out of this, graduate, we're saving you $20,000. That would make me come. I mean, I'd come anyway, but I'd come even more.
And we have some really successful people that started at STC that are, doing great things in our community too. So I think you went to STC.
I did. And so I had to figure all the FAFSA out myself because, well, I didn't take advantage of it when I was in high school. And so we didn't have ChatGPT back then either, so you didn't know how to fill it out. But there are a lot of people there that helped me out, and STC gave me another start. So I'm very thankful to their program there and to UTRGV because I also attended there. And to McAllen ISD because this is where I got my start.
So tomorrow is our district FAFSA night, but we're hosting FAFSA nights and FAFSA days at the campuses throughout the year. Tomorrow is just a district one, but this is happening throughout the year to provide that support to students.
Well, thank you all so much. I do encourage parents to take advantage of the programs that are here. I know that a lot of students are eager to get started and maybe a little shy to bring it up to their parents, but it's no cost to them, and it's a service that McAllen ISD has. So thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we are on 8B1.
Mr. President and Board of Trustees, if I may ask, if we can combine 8B1 and 8B2, because I believe that the conversations that we may have would carry on between both of them, if it's okay?
No problem. 8B1 and 8B2, and these are on the discussion of policy EFB for the SLAC, School Library Advisory Council.
McAllen ISD policy EFB local is proposing the establishment of a local school library advisory council, SLAC. TASB, the Texas Association of School Boards, is recommending this resolution be brought to the board for review. Dr. Canales, our Chief Human Resources Officer, will have more information on this item, and this is for information purposes only. And I'd like to add now 8B2, the comments about that. McAllen ISD policy, EFB local, is proposing the establishment of a local school library advisory council, SLAC. TASB is recommending this policy be brought to the board for review, and Dr. Canales, our Chief Human Resources Officer, will have more information. And both of these items are for informational purposes only, but it's a discussion of the resolution and the local policy that we need to establish.
So TASB recommends that we first establish the resolution, followed by the EFB local policy. So TASB's given us two different policies here to look at. One is EFB exhibit, resolution establishing a local school library advisory council. And that is up for discussion right now. We can talk about that there. And then followed by the proposed policy on EFB local. So if we make any changes to the resolution part of it, it could change a little bit of the policy, but TASB will help guide us through that process.
Dr. Canales, thank you so much for your work on this. I know you and I have had a lot of conversations over the past, I don't know, month or however long it's been on this.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for putting this resolution together. I do have a couple of recommendations that I would like to discuss with fellow trustees. First is the resolution does contain the statutory language that has to be at least 5 members, with each member appointed by the Board of Trustees and with each trustee appointing an equal number of members. But I would think it makes sense for us to add some language in this resolution outlining that the number of members we are appointing, and I would suggest 14. Dr. Canales, I think you provided us with a memo with a suggestion that each board member appoint a voting member, which has to be a parent of a child in the district, and then we can also appoint a non-voting member, which can be clergy, community member, a parent that has a student in the school, a librarian, et cetera.
On that point, Trustee Haddad, I agree with what you've said. However, I think that it would I would suggest this even be a little bit more specific, because I think if we're all to each nominate equally, then it should be 7, minimum 7, not 5. And I think the spirit of it is so that nobody has, more influence than anyone else. And so I agree with you on the 14, but I think that we should each appoint 1 voting member and 1 non-voting member.
I agree with that. One, just a kind of a technical issue, Dr. Canales, on, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th whereas, it says, whereas a majority of the voting members of the SLAC must be persons who are parents of students enrolled in district and who are not employed by the district. I would suggest removing the first 3 words, a majority of. So it would just read as, whereas the voting members, because the statute SB 13 requires voting members to be parents. So by adding, and I know this is directly from the statute itself is confusing because it says a majority of the voting members of SLAC have to be parents. But actually the only people that can be voting members are parents. So it's just confusing language to put majority. And then finally, I would recommend that the appointments that the trustees make are an annual appointment. You brought up to me that, what happens if there's a parent of a senior, and this is a 3-year SLAC, so what happens the next year? Is that parent still a voting member? Do they have to appoint? So I would just suggest to avoid any of those issues that we appoint on an annual basis.
And this we have to outline in the resolution.
Yeah.
For the next.
Correct, because for example, like you said, if you have a senior student, you vote for a senior parent. Now they're off next year, so it must be a voting member, has to be a parent in our district with a student enrolled in our district, then you'd have to decide, does that parent now move to a non-voting member, or does that parent completely move off and you all vote for a new one? That's what the decision could be made on.
I think it's probably cleaner if we just do the annual,
Yeah.
like you said.
Yeah, if we go that route, I was thinking potentially longer, just for consistency's sake, given there's only a requirement for 2 meetings per year. Potentially there's more, just depending on the number of titles that are under review or potentially challenged. But we may also consider renewability of membership to some sense. Like, if I appoint someone for the first year and it's only a 1-year term, can I reappoint that same person as a voting member? Do we want to have some guidelines around that? I would also get behind an idea that if somebody no longer is a parent, unenrollment, graduation, any other case, that they be removed by the next meeting, so we don't have to wait till the end of the year, if it is truly a 1-year term. And then it may be helpful for future sake to align voting membership and non-voting membership to trustee places, so that when voting members or non-voting members turn over, we can have some clarity as a board for who on the trustee dais has the authority to reappoint.
I think all good points, trustee. And then one final comment from me is the Slack, once created, is going to need assistance from the district in terms of knowing what the statutes going to have to abide by, where to meet, how to meet, help coordination, logistics, meeting the Open Meetings Act requirements. So I would also suggest that in this resolution, we add that the superintendent appoint staff to assist the Slack in carrying out its duties.
I will tell you that you don't necessarily need someone to do that. Like, we are here for assistance, to get the room, to do all that. But anybody I'm sure you're going to get people from the district. They have the capability of requesting a room. There will be a secretary that is voted upon, a chairman that's voted upon, and we'll make sure that they have any assistance that they need.
Yeah, if you look at EFB local on the second page, it says recommendation and procurement of materials. There it says librarians and other professional staff shall assist the SLAC in developing the list of library material, recommendations to be presented to the board, and then it lists there the 4 different areas that they could assist with as well.
Yeah.
And when I spoke to TSLAC, they did say, like, the very first meeting, the expectation would be that I would be there, and the things that I would have to go over with the SLAC would be of course, SB 13, go over FB legal and FB local, make sure that what TEA outlines for those SB 13 requirements, what McAllen ISD has for the book selection guidelines, and then after we do that, then we would elect the committee roles. We would elect a committee chair who would then, from that point on, run the meeting, and we would elect a secretary who would take notes. And I would think the secretary who's taking those notes would be responsible for posting. They would be responsible for recording and posting all that information on the website. They can get it to me, and I can handle that part on the library part of the website. Okay.
Well, I'm happy to defer to you, Dr. Gutierrez, or you, Dr. Canales, on whether we need that in the resolution or not. It sounds like the staff's already going to be assisting the SLAC in its duties.
Right.
Yeah, anything they need, I've got my digital learning staff that can help with recording and setting up. I've got my secretaries who can, obviously get a room set aside. And then we have librarians at every campus that can help us get, I think we have to post 72 hours before. We'll make sure that the librarians get that posted in the office or the entryway, the way it's supposed to be. So we're here to support you however you need.
We'll just work to coordinate it and get it, going. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I also talked to Tasby as well, and we know that this is also new to everybody, so if something comes up where you need to come back and bring it for any kind of changes, you all do have that right to come back and bring any kind of changes you see fit.
So for the next meeting, we'll bring the changes to the resolution that we talked about, and then, and the policy would have to reflect those changes, right, for the second reading as well? The local policy that we need to adopt?
Correct. And if we're going for the second reading for the approval of the SLAC for the next meeting, we also have to have the 7 voting members on the SLAC.
The selection of the members?
Selection of the members,
Can
correct.
you clarify, Dr. Canales, we need those names in the item when it is posted 72 hours in advance, or we bring those names to the meeting itself?
I will double check. When I met with TASB today, they said as long as we had it for that board meeting,
Okay.
that we could present it at that board meeting. TASB also recommends that possibly a roll call where you'll randomly select who chooses first, whether you do the first one voting, second one non-voting, or you do the first one voting, and then you go back again and do another one of non-voting. That's up to you and the board. I met with John on that earlier.
You can do the nominations there, right? And that's all part of the public forum, public discussion aspect of it, but as long as it's done in public, this doesn't require the 72 hours posting. That we're going to have this vote, and you're going to appoint them, that has to be posted, and then people can comment and come in and volunteer if they want to.
But we talked about it, I think somebody mentioned 7 names, but have we decided that it's going to be 7 or 14?
No.
Okay,
No, that's for y'all
Okay.
to
I think
decide
that would be in the
whether,
resolution.
okay.
whether you want 7 or 14.
What TASB is recommending is that at least each board member select a voting member that is part, so there's 7 for sure that are voting, is what they recommend.
But we
The other
also-
ones can be anybody else. It could be less than 7, it can be 7, it can be 5, it can be
Well, it can't be less than 7.
on the non-voting side.
Oh, on the non-voting. I
Correct.
thought I read it to say that we all have to have the same number of nominees, irrespective of whether they're voting or not.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
It's either gonna be 7 or
Or
14.
14.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or 21?
Well,
What's the next
attorney-
one?
When we spoke to the attorney, they said at the minimum, it would be the 7 parents non-voting.
Yep.
The extras is up to you. It can be 5. Like if you look at some of the others that are out there, it could be 5, it could be 6, it could be 7.
It'd be
So
best
really,
if it
that's
was
for you
equal
guys
number.
to determine.
Is what TASB is recommending. It's an
Yeah,
equal
I
number.
don't read it to be unequal. I think we have to do 7 or 14 or 21 or 28.
You went to
I
school
vote
in
14, and I think that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think 14, yeah.
So for direction, 14? So-
Yes.
Yes.
No,
And can we
14, 7 voting, 7 non-voting.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you.
right, okay. Then we can make those changes for the next meeting.
I apologize. I do have one more recommendation
Sure.
for the policy, not the resolution. The policy does have 2 or 3 instances where the SLAC makes recommendations. I would just suggest that anytime the policy requires us, or has the SLAC to make a recommendation, that we put in language that says by a majority vote of the voting members. So that way it's clear, SLAC doesn't have to try to figure out if it's unanimous or majority.
Thank you. More questions, comments?
And just a discussion with TASB, they recommend to the board, and you all ultimately will vote on any items.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you all. And we are on to 8C2, discussion and possible action on the McAllen ISD District's September budget amendment for fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026. Dr. Gutierrez.
Administration is recommending the approval of the September budget amendment for the 25-26 fiscal year. Ms. Lorena Garcia, our Deputy Superintendent for Business and Operations, will go over the budget amendment. Administration is recommending action on this item. Go ahead, Ms. Garcia.
Yes, we received a grant from the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program for Jackson and McAuliffe with a revenue of $46,806. On the expenditure side, we are bringing the amendment to you for state compensatory funds. Their state compensatory education is using some of their fund balance to purchase some software in the amount of $208,000. From 199, we are using $15,410 for the student dropout prevention and recovery. And also from 199, we are using it to purchase or to pay for the Thrill Share rooms, the 2A parent-teacher communication at $45,540. And Fine Arts is using the last of the money that had been set aside for the band uniforms, 41,970. And that is all on the budget amendment.
All right, okay. We are requiring a motion on this item if there is.
Move to approve.
Okay, I have a
Second.
motion by trustee Carrion and a second by trustee Peña. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. 8C3, discussion and possible action on request for proposal number 2026-1006, fully insured dental plan. Dr. Gutierrez.
Yes, administration solicited proposals for fully insured dental plan. Mr. Silva is not here today, but Ms. Garcia is here. Lorena Garcia, our deputy superintendent, as well as our consultant from risk management. They're here to answer any questions the board may have, and we are recommending action on this item, and this is a four-part motion item.
All right.
I don't see him.
Yes, we are recommending Delta Dental Plan. I'm sorry. Yes, they were the highest rank. We have used them in the past. The district allocates $18 per employee per month for the employee's dental plan. The cost is lower than that, than the $18 for the employee. It's actually $16, so it is lower. Are there any questions on the evaluation matrix? We've included those in the attachment. We do have a 3-year rate guarantee as well.
And the rates are the same as what we're currently paying or less?
The rates are lower than, we're currently with Humana, and Humana was one of the bidders. They came in a little bit higher this time than where they were last year.
Hi, good evening. Karina Perez, Risk Management Coordinator for the Benefits Department. So the rates are going up a little bit, between $1 to $3.50 for employees. Now, remember, the district does fund $18 to the low employee-only plan. So those employees will not be affected in any way. They still get free dental. However, those that are on the employee family low plan and the employee-only and employee family high plan, those will be affected again between $1 to $3.50.
And the second ranked choice, MetLife, it's slightly cheaper, but it's only guaranteeing.
For 2 years, that is
Correct.
correct. So yes, they are cheaper. However, on year 3, they're hitting us with a 3% increase. So it is going to affect a lot, anywhere between $2 to close to $7 the employee's pocket on those 3 plans. And Delta Dental is agreeing to a 3-year fixed rate.
All right, any further discussion, questions?
From the dental family?
Question.
You have a question?
No.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Okay, Mr. President, I motion to approve the request for proposal number 2026-1006, fully insured dental plan for a term of 3 years, effective January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2029.
Second.
I have a motion by Dr. Kittleman and a second by Sofia Peña. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. And we have, it is a 4-part motion, so if there is a trustee that would like to.
Mr. President, I move to authorize administration to conduct interviews with the agents with the most experience with Delta Dental.
Second.
I have a motion by trustee Carrion, a second by trustee Peña. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Mr. President, I move to approve the administration, I move to approve that the administration negotiates the draft contract.
Second.
I have a motion by trustee Haddad, second by trustee Peña. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Faster. Last one.
Mr. President, I move to authorize the superintendent to execute the contract and any amendments, if needed, once the contract has been successfully negotiated.
Second. I have a motion by trustee Pena and a second by trustee Rivera. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Thank you, guys.
Teamwork.
And 8D, Board of Trustee items. 8D1, approval of the meeting minutes from October 7th, 2025. And do I
I
have a
move to
motion?
approve.
I second.
Motion by trustee Pena, second by trustee Haddad. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Item number 9, recess to closed session. Board of Trustees may go into closed session pursuant to sections 551071, 551072, 551074, 551076, and 551089 of the Texas Government Code to discuss the following: human resources recommendations, discussion of human resources resignations, discussion regarding school safety and security, pending and/or potential litigation, and possible real estate acquisition. At 7:01, we are in executive session. right, it is 7:50 and we are back into open session. We will move on with item number 11. 11A, discussion and possible action of human resources recommendations for school year 2025-26. Dr. Gutierrez.
Human Resources submitted a list of recommendations for the 25-26 school year under a separate cover for discussion during closed session. Administration is recommending action on this item.
Move to approve.
I have a motion by trustee Peña
Second.
and a second by trustee Regalado. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 6-0. All right, on items 11B to 11E, there is nothing to report there. We will move to item number 12, scheduled meetings. We have a board workshop, facilities needs assessment at UTRGV, October 28th, 2025. I believe that's at 5:30. The time isn't on there, but
The what, which one?
the workshop.
Yes, yes,
5:30. Then on November 11th, we have a regular board meeting here at 5:30. December 9th, we have another board meeting here at 5:30. And then a board workshop, student recognitions, December 16th, 5:30 at Mackay's Auditorium. At this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
A motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Good night, everybody. Thank you. It is 7:52.